everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Liz and I make art videos. Before we get into it, I'm sorry for the lighting. My camera settings were a bit messed up, so I ended up getting these bands going across the footage. You can't see it right now, but once the video speds up, you can see it a little bit. I have no idea how to fix it post-filming, so I just kept it because I thought the video was good and I didn't want to have to shoot something else. Plus, I still had to figure out how to actually fix it when filming. So yeah, I just kept it like this. I noticed it was also in the bullet journal video for a bit, so I'm really sorry about that. Alright, let's get on to the painting. A while ago, I filled up a page in my sketchbook with some bird sketches. Two of them really inspired me to try and use those poses for some small gouache paintings. I really want to learn how to use gouache, and I wanted to do something that wasn't just a study, so that's what I'm doing in today's video. I sketched the bird on a scrap piece of paper first to see if I could get the pose right and, get the composition right and all that stuff. I had a lot of trouble with it actually. I couldn't get the same cutesy look that the original sketch had, and I just couldn't get the feet right either. To be honest, there was a lot of things that I felt like I couldn't get right. Eventually, I just kind of went with what I had because I didn't want to keep redrawing things. My main focus for this was to paint with gouache rather than draw a pretty bird, if that makes sense. So once the sketching was done, I inked it with just my usual Staedtler fine liners, and then I traced it onto the main piece of paper. It's just I'm just using watercolor paper. So yeah, after I did that, I went back to the scrap piece of paper and I did a color test with my gouache paints. I had this idea in my head of a bird that only had shades of blue on its body. The camera is gonna make the blue on the wings like super bright, but it's really more muted in real life. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I did end up liking the color combinations enough for me to go and apply them to the final piece. I really loved the dark blue that I used for its beak, the top of the head, the tail, and his feet. In the final piece, I kind of ended up screwing up the feet a little bit, but it's alright. It wasn't too bad. So yeah, the gouache I am using is this really cheap set I got from Amazon, and I really don't like it. It's very streaky, it's very watery, it's very hard to get a nice even coat with it, and unless it's a really dark color, it's also really hard to get it to be opaque. The blue that you're seeing me use right now, that's the one that's like super bright, but in real life it's really not that bright. It's just kind of, it fits more with the piece. Like when you look at it now, it's kind of like I'm using the wrong, what would you call it? Would this be tone or value? I don't know, whichever one it is, it feels like that one is out of place, but in real life it fits a lot. It fits a lot better. The gouache, when I use it straight out of the tube, a lot of times the paint still won't be opaque. I still like gouache, so even though these paints are pretty shitty in my opinion, I still like using gouache. There's just something about the way that it dries. It always comes out better than I think it will. Like while I'm painting, I'm always like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is gonna look so bad. But then when I'm done, it's like, oh, this actually isn't that bad. And I feel like a lot of that is because gouache, like when it dries, it kind of changes color a little bit and it just looks a lot more interesting because it dries matte and all that stuff. I don't know, I really like gouache still, so I'm thinking of getting some better quality gouache paints, and yeah, if you have any recommendations for good beginner paints that are like better quality than what I have, the ones I have are the, oh god, what are they called? Something like Royal. Oh, I have them over here. Let me just quickly check. They are called the Royal and Langnickel Essentials Gouache Artist Colors. It's a set of 24, and I think I paid like £6 for this. So I did not expect a lot from them anyway, and I still think they're okay just to like practice with it, but when I really want to like make better paintings, I think I'm gonna need something better. So if you have any recommendations, do let me know, because like these paints really made me feel like the painting was bad and horrible. I wasn't having a good time painting this at all. And like I mentioned already, looking back at it now, I feel like it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was when I finished. But at the same time, it's not what I envisioned. But I also think that's just because I'm inexperienced with gouache and I'm not the best artist, blah blah. You know what it's like. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it, which kind of makes me sad because I was really looking forward to drawing this bird with gouache, and I thought it was going to look really cute and it was going to be cool, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't quite what I hoped it would be. I did, at the end, I added a border around it, which was kind of like a last minute decision because I felt like it needed something to not make it look so simple. And I'm really glad I did that. Like, for some reason, I feel like it really pulls the whole piece kind of together, even though there is no background. It feels less like, oh, this is just a painting of a bird, even though it is a painting of a bird. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I'm rambling a bit in this video, but I kind of ramble all the time. But anyway, today's a bit worse because I have not slept very much, so my brain is a little jumbled and everything. But anyway, this was my bird painting, and even though I didn't have a good time with it, I still want to do more of this. This is kind of like what I wanted to do when I said in my art goals. Like, I wanted to do more full pieces, I wanted to do more fun pieces, and I wanted to do more colored pieces. And I feel like this, if I can do more gouache paintings like this, just quick, small, because this is only like A5 size, I think. They don't take much time, but I get to practice gouache, and it's normally it's fun to do. So yeah, that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!